Hello and welcome back. Welcome back and good morning or good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are in the world. So today we are going to have our artist talk with Teater. But before I introduce Teater, I would like everyone to know that Da just celebrated their birthday. So before we go into Zoom, before we go into anything, I just want to think, let's all sing them. Let's put our microphone on, everybody, and let's just wish Teater a happy birthday, okay? Will you all just join me? Ready? And happy birthday, Teater, 30th birthday. I'm going to sing, okay? So everybody go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, 30 years of existence. Wow. Wow. All right, so before we start, we have to remind you of the Zoom tips, okay? Please keep your video muted. Turn your video off and your mic muted. Okay. All right. Please use your headset for the best audio quality, and check hide non-video participants. If you just want to have a better view of everything else, you can find that in your Zoom video settings. There's a camera icon. You click on the arrow, and then you zoom, and then you go right down, you can see hide non-video participant. You click that, and there you go. All right. So that's our Zoom tips. Of course, donations, we're still asking for donations. We are very, very encouraged. The whole team is very, very encouraged. We see so many supports and love pouring in. Of course, money, and we would like, all of us are doing this volunteering, and any money we receive right now covers our costs of the Zoom costs, and also after this, it all goes towards the artists. Good. So now that I have done all the housekeeping, let me introduce to you Teater. Teater's talk today will be on rebuilding the theater towards a new future. This project aims to translate their performances in audio-visual language in order to stay in touch with their audience through digital media. The project consisted of a digital campaign that presented short videos created from performances dealing with themes such as multicultural tolerance, children's rights, and creative articulation of civil protests. The webinar, At Your Right, and a series of online conversations with Artist Connection. Before they start, I also would like to say, I want to introduce to you our translator, Lauren. Okay, so Lauren will be translating this into Spanish. So for all those of you who need Spanish translation, please go into the translation interpreter button and click Spanish. So I'm going to keep quiet right now, and I'm going to hand over the floor to these two beautiful people from Teater. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thanks everyone for this wonderful song in this morning, our last day of the festival, which celebrates 30 years. So we are going to talk about the project that we created in the second part of 2020, where we had a kind of lockdown. Anyhow, the most of the time theaters could not operate, so we could not perform, even a little bit less than the rest of the Europe, but still it was quite tough, like we all know. So we had opportunity to enter in one grand call and to propose something. How would we adjust to the pandemic situation? But basically what we thought already in that time, probably everyone remember, there were many questions, and artists and all around the world were trying to find a way how to present themselves. And then we were reflecting and starting to understand that just recording of the performances or just appearing on the web or online, it's not enough for us. And even ourselves, we would not be interested to see any kind of recording on the performance. Most of the time we would say like, but let's say it's almost boring. And then we decided to propose really to involve audiovisual artists, video, film artists, that will use our material, our scenes, the scenes from the performances, and create really the work which will stand with its own audiovisual language, which will have a digital quality so that people could watch it and enjoy it, and to be adequate to the digital medias we are using now, and generally audiovisual medias that exist, of course. So that's why we proposed this. Actually, Elizabeth, shortly you said all about the project. The project was called Rebuilding Theater Toward the New Future. It was a quite ambitious title, but anyhow, rebuilding, how to create, not really again, but in that moment, what can we do? So the result is, and you're going to see some fragments, some of the videos. It was 24 videos based on the free performances, and Dijana will tell more about the content. And then also we create a serial of talks, online talks with the name Connections, which had a name to connect again or to maintain connections with the artists around the world, our colleagues, our friends, and to keep on thinking together, first of all, about some specific topics. And as you will hear, that we had a certain themes which were with whom we dealt in the project. And then we were going around these topics a lot about the arts and human rights. So each of the connection had a certain topic depending on the artists that participated. And also we created, and that was our first experience, but very, very positive one. We created webinar with the title Act Your Right. And the idea of webinar was to introduce creative techniques to the people that are maybe not at all artists, or maybe they are just audience, or maybe they are social activists, or maybe the students. So the people, how to articulate their revolt or their insatisfaction or any topic that is meaningful for them and they want to fight for in the society. So we gave them some examples, and we offered them possible means which they could eventually use, and also some kind of guidance in these 5 days as long as webinar was working. So maybe Dijana, if you want to continue about the performances, which were the base of the project.
Yes, we chose to transfer 3 performances to this digital language, as Jadranka explained, and we are working in the so-called socially engaged theater realm, let's say, and we felt that it was very, very important to stay in touch with the audience, but also to communicate those topics, especially in the times where human rights and liberties are so taken or have been taken from all of us. I mean, through different measures that use the pandemic as excuse. So we wanted to stay in touch with these topics and to still send the, let's say, the message that it is important to be aware that the human rights are something that we have to basically be aware about all the time, and in the times of crisis and in the times of quarantine and so on. So 3 performances were Invisible City, and this is our project that is going on now for 15 years all around the world, I can say. It started in Serbia with an idea to speak about multicultural tolerance and diversity, but it really started from our need to address this topic since we were born and grew up in Yugoslavia that in 90s fell apart completely, and Yugoslavia in which we were raised was the real example of multicultural society. So in 90s, due to the war and xenophobia and nationalism, suddenly we started to lose that richness, and the main narrative became xenophobical and against the other, and we had to talk about purity of Serbian nation and so on. So we wanted really to put the focus on the fact that we are here coming from all different cultures that are making our culture in our cities and places all around. And we started with Serbia, so the idea was to put it in the bus, in the public bus, and we always perform it in the public bus with passengers that just come and leave on the stops, and we create scenario for each city that is in relation to the neighborhoods through which is bus passing, and the stories are about or related to the stories of our invisible neighbors and citizens coming from different culture and different ethnic groups and so on. So we wanted to make that fact again visible. And so this is something that we did in the buses all around Serbia, all around Europe. Jadranka did it in Brazil, in Rio. And this is the project that is still, as I said, going on. The other performance is the Conundrum of Revolution, and this is the performance that I directed with an idea to explore what were the revolutions, what is this riddle of the revolution, did the revolution happen at all? Why do revolution always finish in a blood, to make it simple? And how can what is the revolution? Is revolution on the personal level or is it possible on the level of society? And how to activate actually ourselves and our members of our communities towards the change. But for that show, we use the characters of real revolutionaries, and you will see some of them throughout the history. And also very important topic was how one idea that started with an incredible vision for the better humanity very often finished in the complete opposite with violence and destruction and so on, as we know, like Cuban Revolution or Ulrike Meinhof and many others. Third show that we transferred to the video was For Your Own Good, and it was dealing with the children's rights. And also we were using fairy tales and deconstructing them, finding terrible messages in fairy tales that we are actually reading to our children and transmitting to them very problematic messages. And so we related those fairy tales, we connected with specific children rights situations, like that we have thousands and thousands of children begging all around the world, or that we are having abandoned children, or that the marriages of the young girls all around the world with statistics and so on. So this is the third show. We shall show you the excerpts from Invisible City first, and then we shall show from the other. We are not going to show from the all three. So Jadranka will share screen first, the scenes from Invisible City. One is on xenophobia, and the other, just to give the context, is the rap about foreign words in Serbian language. And we found that in all languages, we are using all different words from different languages, that this is the richness, and we really wanted to say stop to this nonsense about the purity of the language. I mean, purity. Okay, so Jadranka, you can share it.
Hallo! Guten Tag, alles. Das bin ich, Nicole. Ksenofobija od grčkih reči ksenos, što znači stranac, i phobos, što znači strah, je snažna, iracionalna mržnja i nepoverenje prema strancima, njihovim običajima, vrednostima i navikama. Ich komme aus Dresden. U Vranju ich finde meine Liebe. Sviram bubnje u jednom punk bandu. Hajde stavi džezvu, kako da se kuva. Utopija je moja, samo muzika do gruva. Zapali mi cigaru, obavezno nas pirakije. Vašuk će da bude, samo čekaj da se napijem. Turbo blues! Ja nisam lud! Samo pratim mračni put. Visoka je cena, visoka je štikla. Zbog visoke škole je visoka tarifa. Uživam u jezičkoj karizmi. U našem jeziku se koriste svi smo isti. Svi smo isti. Ma svi smo isti. Svi smo isti. Svi smo isti. Ma svi smo isti. Svi smo isti. Svi smo isti. Ma svi smo isti. Svi smo isti. Svi smo isti. To su tuđe reči, ali u suštini svi smo isti. Svi smo mi individue, ali u suštini svi smo mi isti.
Yes, that was we have to say that in this project, we invited Evelini Costa from Brazil and our photographer Nemanja Maraš from Belgrade, and they were responsible to make these videos. And I wanted just to add one thing that, as Dijana also explained, how many topics we were treated and chose these performances. Actually, the strong feeling we had in that time, it's like the pandemic question is overtaking everything, that people are only talking about this, and we felt it's a big danger that we are losing the focus of the many other things which are going on in society, losing the capability to continue to reflect and discuss about the issues that are needed to continue to discuss, and that's why we chose these strong topics to maintain through this forum.
Yes, so maybe you can also show, Jadranka, now the excerpts from The Conundrum of Revolution. The first is the Russian poet Mayakovsky, performed by Evgenia Shkina-Kovacevic, the member of our ensemble that is the Russian. So that was the special taste, that she was really speaking in Russian. And the character is there because Mayakovsky was revolutionary and he committed suicide at the end, being completely disappointed in the revolution. But also we found the rumors that maybe he was executed and so on. So another excerpt that we are going to show is the stolen history with some other characters of revolutionaries that are actually debating about what is the right history and what is the hidden history. And we wanted just to put those histories visible and parallel, and to contemplate on this, that what we are taught in history books and through our education should be questioned all the time. So Jadranka, are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Okay, we can.
Revolucija počinje kada ljudi više ne prihvataju nezadovoljstvo kao normalno stanje, a vi ćutite, građani. Revolucija počinje kada moralni zakon ne postoji, a pisane zakone se primjenjuju samo na sirotinji, a vi ste sirotinja, građani. Revolucija počinje kada policija, vojska i službe bezbednosti više nisu čuvari slobode, već okupatori sopstvenog naroda, a vi ste okupirani, građani. Revolucija počinje kad narod služi vlastima, a ne vlast narodu, a vi služite, građani. Revolucija počinje kada se bez gladnih ne može kupiti novcem sitih, a vi ste gladni, građani. Revolucija počinje kad umetnici prestanu da budu kukavice i progovore na sav glas, a vi ćutite, građani. Revolucija počinje kada su zabranjene slobodna misao i slobodna reč, a vi ste zabranjeni, građani.
Mozak Urlike Meinhof, koji je izvađen iz mrtvog tela i dat na ispitivanje, decenijama je stajao u formaldehinu u laboratoriju univerziteta u Tübingenu, da bi ga tek na zahtev njenih kćeri sahranili sa telom.
Svi policajci su svinje. Der Typ in Uniform ist ein Schwein. Nije čovek. I tako se moramo obhoditi prema njima. Mi nemamo šta da razgovaramo. Niht! I može doći do pucnjave. Grob Roze Luksemburg je prazan. Telo nestalo. Mada postoje sumnje da njeno telo, od koga je odvojena glava, također čuvano u bolničkom istorijskom muzeju. Našli su me mrtvu u mojoj ćeliji. Na dan majki i na godišnjicu završetka Drugog svjetskog rata. Kažu da sam se obesila. Zvanično, ja sam samoubica. Ja sam imala moralnu obavezu da se borim protiv nepravde. Moja borba je izraz moje ljubavi prema čovečanstvu.
Vi ste odgovorni za ubijanje ljudi. Kakve to veze ima sa ljubavlju ili hrabrošću?
Sve bi nas ubili. Vi dobro znate sa kakvim svinjama smo imali posla. Sa onima koji su stvorili Auschwitz. Nema diskusije.
Svetu jeste potrebna revolucija, ali svaka prolivena suza, makar i obrisana, ostaće kao optužba.
Na mom grobu, kao ni u mom životu, nema pompeznih fraza. Samo dva sloga, gligli, gligli. U mraku se smejem životu kao da znam nekakvu čudesnu tajnu koja otkriva laž svega što je zlo i tužno i pretvara ga u čistu radost i sreću. I stalno tražim razlog za tu veselost, ali ne nalazim ništa i moram da se smejem i stalno se smejem u sebi. Smejem se sebi, a verujem da tajna nije ništa drugo do sam život.
Okay, so these were the videos, and I think that we just have time if you have any question. Do you agree, Jadranka?
Yes,
If you want to. Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you very much. That's wonderful. So can I encourage everybody to turn on your videos and let's have a conversation of all these works that were shared with us. Yeah.
nice to see your faces, and thank you for singing the birthday song.
We have the children.
Yes. Cool. Okay. So ask away, or you can also put your questions in the chat, and Carla will be able to actually share, collect that. Yeah.
I see what Carla wrote. The mestizos showed film of women's testimonies just with their eyes, and here we have their mouths. Is it dangerous to show whole woman? Yeah, I mean, it could be, depending. I think but I can speak about the choice, why we made this choice here to show just the mouth. Was one choice was because they were tried to really, the others were trying to reduce those characters only to the certain, only to what they were speaking, and it was so much more there. Another choice why we chose to just use one part of the head was related to this story, that is the real facts that we found, and that it was this kind of the really incredible thing that the head of Ulrike Meinhof, even that she was the terrorist, was kept apart. I mean, and then also there is this whole thing with the empty grave of Rosa Luxemburg and the head that was decapitated and so on. I mean, we did a lot of researches. So for us, it was like, wow, these women really presented the threat to society. So they really were not just killed, but they needed really to be kind of, like torn apart. I mean, it was almost something like a Greek tragedy there. Like what was the terrible fear that those societies felt towards these women? And then, of course, we are questioning the position of the Ulrike Meinhof and terrorists, not justifying what she did, but it's a very important question. How come that one pacifist really pass this way to become a terrorist? I mean, is that the sole responsibility of that person, or did the society push her to be that. So these were the choices by the month.
Jill? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to thank you both very much for showing those film clips, because I feel like you've really respected both the form of theatre and of film in using filmmakers who know this language and who are very competent. And this thing of just showing plays on film was, to me, incredibly frustrating during lockdown. It was almost like stupid theatre. You know, I did it to relax, but it didn't make me animated. Whereas I feel both of, all three of those films were really, really interesting and really strong. I have one question about the first one, which is The Invisible Cities. You had no audience on the bus, is that right?
Yeah.
I really miss that, because that to me is an essential of your Invisible Cities project, to see the reactions of the public. So that was just a question as to was that because we were in COVID and so we couldn't go on buses, or yeah.
Actually, it was both two things. One, it was COVID, and in buses was also some restriction and masks, and we said like that would be also ridiculous. And then technically it was super complicated. If we would put, normally it's really common people that enter and they don't know it's a performance. And then it would be cameras, and they could not really, for the filmmakers, it's a big obstacle. They cannot move around these people. It's not going to be as they want. And then, and if you put the people which are not really actors, or like, I don't know in English how it's called.
Extras.
Extras, yes. This is a funny word. Extras would be false. But then we discussed with them, and they say, no, it's also great space to shoot. So they loved this idea. We had the doubts, but they said, no, it's fantastic, and it's light changing and background and so on. It was also challenging for them to shoot, because it's really, the bus was really moving. It was not stopped in one space. So that was, yes, we thought about. But at the end, the choice was like this.
But I do agree with Jill. I mean, I did miss audience, really, also. But this is for all these reasons.
No, I really appreciated seeing the meeting of theatre and film there, and thank you very much for using good filmmakers. And I haven't seen enough of that. I think, to take the solution of the last year to place 3 of your performances into a new medium, and to respect film in that way, rather than use it as an easy video excuse to put your performances up. I really, really respect that. Thank you.
And also it was a very interesting experience for actors. It also turned out to be great experience and good project, and they had and we were all together in the same time. It's not like they were going out make the film, so they were all together, but they had a new experience with it was benefit of all somehow.
But we can't wait for the moment that we continue to perform in the buses filled with people. So.
Thank you very much. We have time for just one more question. I know there's so many things to ask and share, but we have to move on to the next performance itself. Any last question or comment that anyone is dying to talk? Not, we can always continue this conversation, later on. Yeah.
Is it possible to see the? I'm sorry, Raya. I'll ask in the chat.
I think for many of us, we realize that we're going to be shifting from pandemic to out of pandemic and back into pandemic. and we're going to have to become quick change artists. And I was just wondering, carrying on from where Jill was responding, that when we do get back for a very short while into everybody in the buses, back in the buses, and in India, well, we are with and without mask. We do what we like. We're just so many people. But you know, do you think about that as well? And I'm sure you're projecting into the non-pandemic time as well, and the learnings from the pandemic way of making, how that would then move into post-pandemic making.
What is my main impression about this period during pandemic? There are two impressions. One is this amazing possibility that we connect, as we're connecting now on this festival from Magdalena. And so I was in touch with people from all around the world during pandemic, and we were in touch. And just last week, we had a week-long workshop. We call it Inside of the Laboratory, with a group of US college students, and we worked with them for 4 hours every day virtually, and it was fantastic. But what happened, and you know, like, I think this is amazing, but what happened at the end, my main feel was that the longing actually to be together in the physical space started to be even bigger. And so this is like how to find this balance between amazing possibilities of technology to connect us, and we should be keep doing this stuff online, but also like the longing is there, and we should not suppress that longing, because that can transform into something, into action.
Thank you very much. Carla has a question about whether, where can we watch all the videos? Are they online? Could you just type it in the chat for us, maybe?
Yes, they are on the, yes, we can type. On our website, all of Vimeo channel and YouTube, they are all there, 24 videos, but I can...
Jadranka, just copy and put in the chat to people can have in one place. Thanks.
Let me.
All right. Okay. We have to end right now. We have to leave this room to prepare for our next performance, and that will be. Let me pull out I haven't memorized the schedule yet. I know I should, but I really can't tell the difference between time right now. But yes, Be Like Body Absolute. That is Suzanne's performance with 6 different writers all together. So we need to go there because she is performing she is performing in the theater space itself. So see all of you later in half an hour. And thank you very much, Da Theater. Happy birthday. I will drink my scotch. I will drink my scotch for you on behalf. I will drink 30 shots.
Okay. It's a bit okay for us.
Yes. We have final party tonight, so we will drink for all of you.
We will have a party.
Come.
We'll have a party in the toilet.
Remote distributed parties at the same time.
Oh, great.
So come to the toilet
I'm
tonight.
ending the meeting. See you.
Yes, thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.